Meltdown begin. MMA Meltdown on the Fight Network. I am Gabriel Morency. Let's do this thing. We've got a great show lined up for you. We've got a first-time guest on the program. We don't say that often. You consider we've been doing this show for about 5 years now here at the Fight Network. But Ricky Lundell is going to join us. We've crossed paths in the real world, but we've never had him on the show before, and we're going to dig deep with Ricky on the program. Of course, Ricky is Frank Mir's main trainer, head trainer. And it seemed like Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir were on a collision course until Vince McMahon made an offer that he could not refuse, as Brock Lesnar is not returning to the UFC, unfortunately, because it would have been an entertaining run. But I think ultimately he made the right decision. I say unfortunately in the sense because love him or hate him, man, Brock Lesnar is polarizing. He's larger than life, man. He's larger than the sport. Local newspapers are picking this story up everywhere. ESPN picking up Brock Lesnar. Say what you will about Brock Lesnar and whether he's been knocked out, a couple of times. He's still a badass, and he's still someone that could have sold over 1 million pay-per-views. So it would have been big news, and he's coming back. For his own personal health, I think it's a good idea. And why fight for less money when you can not fight and entertain for a hell of a lot more money. So we'll see where Frank Mir goes from here. And unfortunately, news on Tuesday that TJ Dillashaw is out of UFC 186. Well, is that a surprise? Of course not. Any card that's in Canada is going to have multiple scratches. We've got some kick-ass videos of the week. Ricky Lundell, all that and more. MMA Meltdown on the Fight Network. Meltdown on the Fight Network continues. Let's send it to Las Vegas, Nevada, as we spoke off the top. For a week in which there's nothing going on in the UFC, there's certainly a whole hell of a lot going on in the UFC. And I've been wanting to get this gentleman on the program for a couple of months now, and it just seemed like the timing was perfect. And after playing phone tag with Ricky Lundell's people, we finally land the one and only Mr. Ricky Lundell joins us on the program. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing, man?
Gabe, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be on the show with you and to talk a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked to have you on the show. And first things first, congratulations. Congratulations on being promoted up to a third-degree black belt right now, man. How difficult is it in between degrees to climb the degrees? How much of a distance is there between degrees and black belts, man?
There is actually quite a bit of difference between degrees. So I've been a black belt now for 9 years, and you have to consistently be training, competing, coaching, and it just takes a lot of commitment and time to make sure that while you're out there doing other things, you're still putting in the work to make sure that you can get to the next degree. So time in place, plus competition, plus actually promoting the sport and helping the sport of jiu-jitsu. That's the only way that you can get the next degree. So it took quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. As it's amazing. I would assume that you sort of know everything, but you really don't, right? Like, do you find that just like you're still soaking in so much after all these years still?
Gabe, I feel like I am soaking new information in every week, and that's a lot of the demand when you're coaching at the higher levels is you have to learn new information every single day, everywhere you go, everybody you meet. You're trying to get everything you can because in order to stay on the cutting edge, you have to be humble enough to stand in front of these guys and pick up whatever new knowledge they're promoting from all over the world. So every day I feel like I learn more, and I'm lucky to be in a space where I can feed that hunger.
Now, I should have rattled off some of Ricky's accomplishments off the top here, but one of the youngest Americans ever to receive his JITS black belt, gold medalist, grappler, Iowa State standout, and of course we know him from The Ultimate Fighter, Team Jones, Team Pate, and specifically with being with Mr. Frank Mir as well. So there's a ton of stuff I want to get to here with you about this, and we'll get to Frank in a second here because I want to talk about Frank for a couple of minutes. But something that seems that you really put a premium on is being a complete coach, a complete fighter. So many people in this game sort of rest on their one laurels, and they do it damn good, but that's what they do. And if that's not working for them in a fight, they're in a lot of trouble. We saw this with Anthony Pettis against Rafael dos Anjos. And I just can't think of a really more textbook performance from dos Anjos, from a guy that he brought the toolbox into the octagon, Ricky, and he had all the tools. You want to strike? I'm ready to strike. You want to let's do some jiu-jitsu. You want to go on the ground? I'll sub your ass. Hey, you want to wrestle? I'll take you down. Every facet of the game, this guy handled in his back pocket. As a trainer, man, you must have watched that and said, man, this guy was freaking prepared for this fight.
I got to be honest, Gabe, that was probably the most exciting fight I've watched in a long time. And the reason is because everybody who's ever seen Showtime Pettis fight knows that he's the better striker, knows that he has the ability on the ground. He's able to submit anybody. And when you saw Dos Anjos, he really didn't rest on any laurels there. He took the time to find the better training partners, to grind every single day. And Dos Anjos, I mean, he has a family on top of that. So on top of being a dad, as we saw on the show, which was awesome, right, how he brought his son in and did the whole thing, on top of finding the time for his family, he's dedicating his time to fixing every aspect of the game. And there was no question he dominated that fight. I loved that fight.